So I can only really speak from my own personal observation, but particularly my mother, she has this problem all the time, and I can't imagine that you guys don't have this problem as well. So she's the lovely woman sitting in the far right over there, and she's studying to be a nurse practitioner right now. And at the end of a hectic day, the last thing she wants to do when she's exhausted at home is come back, think of what's for dinner, go to the grocery store and get the ingredients to make it. And so I think that's kind of really where our idea comes in. So this is Recipe. I'm Joe Chapkin. I'm the Chief Executive Officer.
Hi, I'm Riley Nelson. I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
Hi, I'm Angie Gordon. I am the Director of Marketing.
I'm Devin Nagging. I'm Head of Financials and Brand Design.
So essentially what Recipe is it's a user-contributed recipe site. So it's a community where users can go to contribute their recipes in order, just for fun or in order to win various sweepstakes that are offered by outside companies, also to earn points towards their user status. And so through doing this, we've incentivized users to provide us with content, which allows us to amass a very large database of content very, very quickly. And so naturally, not all of this content is necessarily going to be, going to be great. It's the fact that it's user contributed really has a lot to do with the professionality, but it's always nice to find hidden gems. So as a means of kind of filtering out the chaff, if you will, what we've done is we've created a star-based rating system. So users who prepare those said recipes can go back and kind of talk about their experience preparing that recipe, and based on using an algorithm that we plan on implementing, the recipes with a consistently low rating will be pulled out in order to attain quality assurance.
So there are a few main things that really distinguish Recipe from other online recipe websites. The first is that it's completely free for all users. There are no premium costs, so if you sign up for Recipe, you'll get every available feature that is offered by us. The second is our extensive filter system. We have 9 filters, which range from serving size to amount of calories to vegetarian options and vegan, etc. So, for example, if I'm coming home from work and I want to cook a chicken dish that's gluten-free with a side of mushrooms, I can select all the different filters that will allow me to pull up the recipes so I can choose what I want. So once I click submit, then I can search for the recipes that are on the screen that have been submitted by users, and I can choose the one that I want. Once I click on that recipe, all the ingredients come up, and then if I decide that I want that, I click OK, place or submit, and then the recipe is immediately downloaded to my computer, and then the ingredients are put into my digital shopping cart along with the other ingredients of other recipes that I have previously either downloaded. So then I can look at my digital shopping cart, rearrange the ingredients, figure out which ones I need, which ones I don't, and once I've selected the ones that I want, I click submit or place order, and that list is automatically shipped to Peapod or another grocery delivery service like that.
Right, and so in terms of what we're going to do with Peapod, like Riley was saying, once you're all set with the ingredients that you want to order, you simply place your order, recipes are immediately downloaded to the user's computer, and your electronic shopping list is sent off to a grocery delivery service. We have been in talks with Peapod through Mona Dolgov, who was the previous, I think, Director of Integrated Marketing at Ahold, which is the parent company of Peapod. So we have been in talks with them, but we have a lot of options if negotiations with Peapod don't go over so well. The grocery delivery business is a constantly expanding industry. Amazon, Google, Walmart are actually all getting involved in California, and we predict this expanding greatly. So basically, they would be able to, Peapod is able to ship ingredients over to people's houses 7 days a week. And in order to supplement this convenient feature, we have another facet of the idea, which is a tool called Recipe Accountant. And essentially what Recipe Accountant is a user can compile up to a month's worth of recipes, so breakfast, lunch, dinner if you choose, and be able to have something different for every single meal. It's 20 minutes that you spend at the very beginning of the month planning out all of your meals, and those ingredients will be automatically delivered to your door based on whatever increment of time you decide that you whenever you decide for them to come, so you can have scheduled automatic deliveries and automatic downloads of all of your recipes. And so from here, kind of just analyzing a target audience, which is probably the first important step to capitalizing on a need. We have been able to identify this target audience kind of just based on the convenience that we offer. So through analyzation of other similar services, we analyzed one of our largest competitors, All Recipes. We analyzed a grocery delivery service, numerous social networks. So through this, all these have a similarity with our service. And so through analyzing their demographics, we've been able to identify that our ideal customer is a married, employed, 25 to 40-year-old female with an average salary of $70,000 per year, just around that. Though we do plan on marketing to both men and women, we plan on marketing to females during our rollout because our data suggests that the majority of recipe users will be female.
Okay, so the online recipe industry is very big, so we do have some competitors. Our first one is allrecipes.com, which is a user-contributed online recipe-based website, but we are actually very different from them because they do not have the delivery aspect that we do. In addition, All Recipes search engine is not very specific. Let's say I want to make a chocolate gluten-free cake that has raspberries in it, for example. You can't do that specific on All Recipes, but with our specific search engine, you'll be able to. And then also All Recipes has a premium cost, and with that premium cost, that gives you access to review-specific recipes and write reviews, but Recipe will not have that cost. Our next one is Blue Apron, which people would think we're very similar to because of the delivery aspect. We're actually very different. Blue Apron only has 6 options. They have 3 vegetarian and 3 meat options. It does not have the community aspect to it that Recipe will have in the variety. In addition, Blue Apron costs $9.99 per person per meal, which is very expensive if you want to, and that doesn't include all the ingredient costs, so it gets very expensive to use. So in order for Recipe to become known, strategic marketing is needed. So one way we'll do that is by a celebrity chef. So we'll have a monthly celebrity chef come in and write either their favorite recipe or review about a specific recipe on the website. For example, we'll start off with, we can start with like Todd English, who we have, whose daughter went to Beaver, so they'll write a review or something like that, and then as we get more national, we can use like Paula Deen, for example, and that will attract their fan base to our website. The next way is through Facebook and social media, which is really big these days. So when you log into Recipe, it will link up with your Facebook account. So let's say I'm reviewing a website on Recipe or writing my own, it will connect to Facebook, so your friend's newsfeed will be filled with your review or the recipe you just made. So that will make their friends become like more intrigued to use Recipe. And then Pinterest is another really popular way. There's lots of food blogs on Pinterest. So let's say, as you can see here, there's a tomato sauce with cucumber recipe. So let's say I want to get the full recipe for that one. I'll click it, and I'll be directly linked to Recipe. So once the user's on Recipe, they'll be intrigued to look at all the other websites and the other recipes that are similar to that one.
So in terms of making money, the main way that we're going to generate income is through advertising. So in addition to a traditional advertising with an ad placed somewhere on the site, we have 2 sort of unique ways. The first is whenever each week we have a recipe of the week, which is a user-contributed recipe that is consistently getting 5 stars, so it's already pretty popular. And then a company will sponsor that recipe. So for example, this one is sponsored by Sam's Club, and so when you first click on it when you go to the recipe website, the first thing you see is cranberry turkey crusty sponsored by Sam's Club. So that would be very intriguing to potential advertisers. The third way that we are thinking about advertising, which is probably the most important way, is through coupons. So when you're a user and you're at your shopping cart, your digital shopping cart, and you're about to place your order, the company will see that you have chicken in your shopping cart. So for example, Purdue Chicken will then place a coupon right next to your place order button so that you'll see the coupon and basically it guarantees a sale for them because they will use that coupon to buy your chicken because it saves you money and then it guarantees it has a sale for them. So that would be very appealing to potential advertisers as well.
So financially, the main way we're going to make money, like Riley said, is through advertisements on our own site. So I've projected that within the first few years, we'll make around $430,000 just through advertisements alone. The way I got to this is because allrecipes.com has an average of 30 million monthly users, and they started in 1997, so it obviously took a while to build up to that. But quite frankly, in 1997, not a lot of people searched online for recipes, and so the way I got to this projection is over the next 4 to 5 years, I feel like, especially in the first year, I feel like we could average about 4 million viewers per month, and because I feel like now, especially in 2013, everyone's using online for everything, especially things like recipes, and so as far as employees go, I feel like we definitely would need a programmer and web designer. We would want to offer a programmer a salary of around $90,000. The reason I say this is because although that's higher than the average salary for a startup company programmer, we do want an experienced and skilled programmer that's willing to take on a startup company like Recipe. Also for a web designer, we'd be offering them around $75,000, and that's also higher. But once again, we want someone that's experienced and skilled and has the knowledge to start a startup company. As far as space and equipment go, it'd be about $10,000 in the first year, and we really want to get our name out there. So we also want to set aside a little bit of money to advertise Recipe's own name in order to get that to get those viewers and to get the 4 million people to come to our site monthly. And so how I got to the 430,000 is on average 1,000 viewers per advertisement makes a company $1. And so if we have 4 million viewers a month, and then that translates to 48 million viewers each year. So which is it's relatively low for the first few years, but we wish to get we wish to hit that market goal of 30 million viewers like All Recipe has, and I feel like we can do that based on the services we offer. And so we're asking for $200,000 to start up based on everything I just said, and we feel like that's a good start.
Okay, so just a little more info about the company, now that you already know me and my team. So we were founded right here in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, but we plan on relocating to Work Bar, which is a collaborative workspace in Boston. This was suggested to us by Rick Webb, who actually he is the CEO of Secret Clubhouse, which is a similar collaborative workspace based out of Brooklyn. But he recommended Work Bar to us. It's very, very, very cheap, so we would be able to better allocate our resources in terms of money and startup costs. So over the course of this process, in addition to my team, I've been able to contact and develop connections with a very experienced team of advisors. This includes Rick Webb, who was the revenue and market consultant for Tumblr. This includes John Coughlin, who was the CEO of Visa, and he was also the CEO of San Francisco Grocery Express Limited, which was a grocery delivery company. Actually, very, very similar market. We've been able to establish connections with, like I said earlier, Mona Dolgov was the director of integrated marketing at Ahold, which is the parent company of Peapod. She's been very involved in this entire process. But in conclusion, we're very motivated, we're a very competent team, and we hope you can make our dream a reality. Overall, Recipe is home.
Cooking.
Made.
Simple.